Alright, we're going to do a how-to video on how to install gutters on our legacy housing manufactured homes. Tools you'll need: an adjustable chuck drill so you can adjust the clutch on it where you're not stripping the screws out. You need a 4-inch extension for a hex drive bit and a 1/4-inch hex drive bit. Your common hacksaw to cut your downspouts with, a level, at least 4 to 6 foot level to where you can put some slope in it to where they'll drain. 2 ladders to do this correctly. Some of these pieces can be up to 36, 38 foot long. Easier with 2 people and 2 ladders to where you've got plenty of room and reach. We're going to start with the gutter on the ground, laying on its backside. These hangers come with a preset screw in them. Basically, you snap them in there on the front, set them on the back. We recommend about 1 inch from the top of the gutter to the top of the hanger, just to open the gutter up to where it has plenty of room. Just a knuckle, an inch. We're going to set our first one. I set my first one about 1 foot in to where I don't get into this end cap and drain plug. And then we're going to go, if you will, put me one there at 48 inches. On the double wires, it's kind of hard to see, but if you look up under the eave, you can look through the vented soffit and see the rafter tails up in there. You can place your hangers accordingly to make sure you're getting into those. I'm gonna go ahead and put my extension in my drill with my 1/4-inch hex bit. You hear it click. We're gonna start off on about 5 to make sure we don't strip the screws out on the hangers. Make sure we don't strip anything out. This is a little shorter piece. We'll get the longer ones here shortly. 2 guys. This material, Javier, if you will pick that end up, my 2 foot in. This material is flimsy. You can see they got some twist to them, and you got to be careful handling them. They will crinkle, they will fold over on these longer pieces. You got to make sure you're equally supported on these pieces to keep them from getting damaged. Has a form lip. This lip goes under your bottom row of shingles and sets up on your decking. Kind of creates a drip edge. So we're going to take it up there, get this placed up under the shingles, and then I'll grab my level. I'll probably tack it. You want to make sure this downspout is correctly placed. Like on this vinyl house, it needs to be relatively close to this vinyl corner, because if you put it back here, crush this vinyl, damage it. So you want to try to make sure you get this lined up on this corner. Here you can see we need to bring it in just a little. So down on this other end, we're going to have to cut that folded edge just a little bit to get it to slide that away on the dormer.
We're gonna take 10 snips and we'll cut about 1 inch or so off, just so it's able to slide over, so we can get it flushed and where we need it to be. Now we cut it, it should fit right on.
As you can see now, the downspout adapter is lined up with this corner relatively close. I'm going to go back just a little right there. So I'm going to take, you set your first screw, making sure that that hanger is about 1 inch down from that clip. Alright, go ahead and twist your chuck up a little. As he's putting in that first screw, the other man can look down the bottom of the gutter and see when it gets flush with the fascia to where you're not over running that screw, not rolling it out, you know, taking a chance on stripping it out. We had to go to 13 on our chuck setting to keep it, you know, to allow it to run it in all the way and not strip it out. I'm gonna get up here, we're gonna get ready to set the one more screw, put the level up there, and then I'll take the camera up there and show you the bubble. Now we'll double check our level. I'm gonna let him hold it there for a minute. I'm showing just out of level. Right there is perfectly level. So I've got about 3/8 of an inch of drain towards the downspout. On a short section like this, that's plenty of drain. On the longer sections, we'll try to make sure you've got a 1/2 inch, at least a 1/2 inch over 40 foot. As you can see, it's level, but it's just out. Just enough for draining purposes to where you don't wind up with standing water inside your gutter. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and tighten the rest of our hanger screws up. So now our first piece on the A half here is installed. Using the 4-inch extension gives you the room to have that gutter underneath your screw gun, your drill, to where you're not having to fight with the head of your drill to try to get it into those screws, is the purpose of that. Once you get that set, we've got the 4-inch offset elbows that hook onto the downspout adapter and back to the house. Attaching this, we just use two 1-inch sheet metal screws. Basically, this opening just slides over this adapter. Push it up tight. Placing one screw in each side. Once you've done that, you're ready to install the downspout. On these downspouts, most of them will be too long once your house is set and blocked. So you'll have to hold it up there. You want this downspout to be about 6 inches short of the ground. On the bottom of your downspout, you'll have this elbow to turn that water out away from the house. You always want to cut off the bottom end. The reason for that, if you'll see, the bottom end is just an opened end. The end that slides into your 4-inch offset is crimped from the factory to go in there. This little elbow is going to be about 7 inches, 6 inches by the time you overlap. We're going to go up and measure 1 inch in on the elbow, to where we know we have 1 inch sticking up in there, to the top, to where we know how much to cut off of our bottom. Okay, so it's 9 1/4 to the bottom. We want to leave 1 inch, so we're going to cut off 8 1/4 inches off the bottom. This is where you'll need your hacksaw. Mark it at 8 1/4. These are relatively thin too. Take your time cutting these to where you don't just flatten them out. I used a brand new saw blade, that's why it was grabbing so hard. Once you cut one, the second, third one will go a little easier because they won't grab quite as hard. So now you can hold it up there and kind of double check it. I'm still going to be a little bit long. I didn't cut off enough for the bottom elbow. So we're going to have to take off about 6 more inches. The reason you see it gets so hard in the middle, there is a factory folded edge that is a little bit tougher to cut through than just the surrounding sides. Now we can hold it up there, just hold it beside it, you can kind of mock it up. Take your bottom elbow. Again, the cut in. Just slips in. Want to go ahead and put 2 more of the 1-inch metal screws in the downspout elbow, connecting the downspout. Just placing 1 in each side to secure that. Now, your kit will come with pre-cut downspout hangers. To install this, we send 2-inch wood screws, which I'll show you where they go, and 2 1-inch metal screws. You want to turn the color edge away from you. You see the one side will be the same color as your gutters and downspouts. You want to measure this out and center them. Place this behind the gutter or behind the downspout on this corner. As you can see here, we've got our downspout lined up perfectly with our corner up and down, so we know we've got good material to catch there. Center it in the corner roughly. Don't over tighten it to where you don't flatten the corner of that vinyl corner out. Then put your downspout back in front of it. You can fold these around. You see your 10 snips. If they happen to be a little too long, you take your 10 snips. Basically what you want them to do, you want them to meet in the middle of the front. So I'm going to trim a little excess off. Taking your 1-inch metal screws, want to fold those around. My drill got turned into the wrong placement there. Going through both pieces of downspout and into the to the downspout strap and into the downspout. In your gutter kit, we will have a small can of touch-up paint. You can touch the heads up on these screws, any edges where you cut that you might want to cover up. And then last, you want to do the same thing down here on the bottom where you put your bottom elbow into your downspout. 1 screw connecting on each side. One on the other side to secure that. You want this relatively close to the ground. The closer it is, the less it's going to wash out your foundation, or the dirt right there in front of it. Basically, on this A half with the dormer, the other end will go exactly the same as this side. We're going to jump over here and get set up to do the B half, which consists of 2 pieces meeting in the middle. Give us just a second to get set up and we'll show you how to secure these and how they meet up and match up. All right, when you've got your gutters, I didn't go over this a while ago, I should have. When you've got your gutters laid out on, make sure you've got them laying on the back, where if you do get any scratches or anything off your lawn or yard or whatever it may be, they'll be on the back side. We have gone ahead and laid this first section out for the beehive. As you can see up here on the roof line, it's just a flat roof with no dormer, so it'll be 2 pieces continuous down the roof line. We've gone ahead and placed our hangers in here, just like we did on the first piece. You want to ensure when you're handling these longer pieces that you're a little more careful. This is what we were talking about earlier. These longer pieces will bend, they'll fold over. When they do, they're damaged. So when you're handling these, you want to make sure you kind of equally handle them. So here I am, this is a 26-foot piece. I'm about 6 foot in from the end. I'm gonna bring him about 6 foot in. We'll have plenty of handling here. So we're gonna go ahead and head up with it. Again, you want to make sure your downspout is lined up with your corner. It can't be outside the corner. It can be on the corner up to 1 inch inside. Looks like I need to be right about there. Ensure your lip's up under your shingles. Again, we're going to set a couple of screws just to hold it. Once we get 2 or 3 set, then we'll take our level, make sure we've got some fall, to ensure they drain correctly. We're going to basically mock it up there with 3 hangers. We'll tighten up 3 hangers. We'll check our level, and that way if we have to make any adjustment, we can. Now that we've tightened this up with 3 just to hold it, we're going to check our level. Again, we wound up just about perfect. As you can see, it's just an 1/8 of a bubble off or so. When I raise the downspout side up to level, I've got about a 1/2 inch. So we'll have plenty of drain. That'll be plenty of fall to make sure everything drains properly. All right, now we've secured the front piece on the back side of the house here. It's up and screwed in. Now we're going to attach the second piece. It's the same system. We've got our gutter laying here on the ground. We've already put our hangers inside of it. So we're going to walk it up the ladder. Of course, you'll have a downspout on this end. So once you get up there, you want to make sure your downspout's lined up with your corner, or from the corner to 1 inch in. And we'll get it up there and show you how it looks. Okay, so we've got the second half up here. Our corners lined up. We're joined in the middle between the 2 pieces. Again, we're going to set a couple of screws, or a couple of these hangers, and then check our level to make sure we've got plenty of fall. Where we've joined our 2 pieces, we just butt the 2 ends together. When we're putting in the last hanger down here on the end where they're joined, you may have to adjust it up or down to where your gutters come out to where they're level on top and bottom. Again, we've put it up here with 3 hangers just to make sure. We went ahead and lined the ends up here to where they're level, where the 2 pieces meet. I'm gonna hop up there, check my levelness, make sure I got plenty of fall for drain. Again, I'm the same level as I was down here, just about 1/8 of an inch bubble off. With about a 1/2 inch fall over the 26 feet, that'll be sufficient to make sure you got plenty of drainage where you don't have water standing up there. And now we'll just repeat the steps on the corners. We'll put our 4-inch offsets on, measure our downspouts out, and we'll get right back with you. Basically, we've repeated the steps. We've tightened up all our hangers in these 2 sections of gutter on the back side. We're going to repeat the same steps on the corner we showed you a while ago, adding our 4-inch offset, measuring our downspout, cutting it off, and adding our bottom 90-degree elbow. In conclusion, basically, only thing I can say, be careful with the longer pieces. Like I say, they are fragile. Be careful with this material as you're rolling it around, laying it out. It will scratch, it will bend. Again, in conclusion, this is how we install the gutters on our legacy housing manufactured houses.